Welcome to Thinking Out Loud. I'm Joel.
I am Brad. Hello from Detroit.
Hello, hello. All right, here's what we've got for you today. This one wasn't planned, but it was simply too good to pass up. We've got this extraordinary opportunity that's come through, and we want to share it with you just because, it's one of those things that you're just so excited, and you got to tell the world. So, YouTube, here's what we've got for you today. Tell us about this campaign that's come through.
Well, Joel, some people are takers. We here at the Outloud group, we're givers. So we're gonna give a little bit with this campaign. So basically, here's what happened is an agency reached out to us on behalf of one of their clients, which is a major automotive brand. And they...
Whom we don't know.
We don't know who it is.
We don't know who it is.
Authentically don't know. A lot of times we will shield you. We're not shielding you purposely here. We don't know. So this automotive company, through their agency, reached out to us, and they were interested in working with some of our talent that we represent. And as part of this, they said, hey, we know you guys do influencer marketing. You guys are perfect. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to have an influencer talk about...
Create
a new video.
An educational video.
A new educational video that will live on the automotive company's YouTube channel. Well, hey, we do influencer marketing, right?
Sure.
We do stuff on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Why was this not exciting? Oh, I guess we got to tell more of the story first.
They came, and normally we don't like to be restricted by specific requests on the part of the company. We've spoken at length before about how we like the influencer to tell their authentic story, and that's the real value of influencer marketing. But these topics that they proposed were so worthwhile. You said, I don't know how we can't have our key influencers really address these. Brad, why don't you share what some of those extraordinary topics were?
Friends, there was 4 topics that were proposed. First, what features should I be looking at in a new vehicle? Okay, so that's the first one. The second one,
perfect.
Which SUV option is right for me?
Deeply personal question.
I mean, that one connects big time. 3, what is the difference between a hybrid, a plug-in, and an electric vehicle?
No.
My attention's captivated.
As exciting as all of those are, Brad, there's the coup de grace.
Which is, I don't know if we're ready
it's too exciting. Brace yourself.
Leasing versus buying, which one is right for me? I know, you're captivated. We were captivated too. We felt this, but you know what? What we didn't feel was excitement. We felt humiliation for the industry. We felt humiliation that people thought that this was right for influencers. And we felt the need to express to our friends that run brands that this is not how you do influencer marketing.
Oh my God. Oh my mother-fletching divinity. This is not...
We are now...
How do you, this is coming from an influencer agency to us. How are you possibly an influencer agency who's wanting an influencer to talk about the differences?
All right, so let's break this down. So why is it that an influencer would not be right to talk about the functions and features of a car? Because we could presumably go to science influencers, people who are very smart that could understand what was happening from an engineering perspective. Why would we not want them to tell the story of the automotive brand?
Okay, all right. Sorry. All right. The biggest reason, the most obvious reason, is of course that, and these are your words. I'm stealing your words because this is great.
Steal away.
Influencers are not brand message puppets. If you are looking for someone to simply regurgitate your own brand message, with those wonderful taglines that only a committee can come up with.
An influencer branding committee.
The brand committee. I'm sorry. Why are you even in influencer marketing? What is it like, are you expecting, like, I'm sorry, I'm at a loss here. Like, what are you looking for? What are you honestly expecting? What would be the possible point of having an influencer who's got, again, huge audience, great connection with their audience? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take them out of that. Right. We're going to put them way over here where nobody knows them and nobody cares about them. And then we're going to talk about stuff that isn't their brand, not what they talk about on their channel.
Here's what happened is that people in agencies and brands, too many are still stuck in this old paradigm where influencers are celebrities. And they think, wow, to get our product to be remembered, we need to tie it to someone who everybody knows, and then people will start talking if a celebrity is tied to our product. And now people are like, wait, people have moved. Celebrities aren't just athletes and musicians, but there's these YouTubers now who are really, really famous. And look, there's science people on YouTube who are famous. Let's have them tied to our product, and they're still stuck in this old way of thinking.
And you're totally right, but here again, that is too charitable. You are being too kind, because even if let's grant that they're still stuck in the celebrity mindset, if Cam Newton talks about the difference between leasing and buying, I still don't care.
No.
I don't care.
No.
Like, there is not one celebrity, with maybe the exception of Louis C.K., that could talk about the difference between leasing and buying, and I would actually give a rip about it.
It'd still be zero. Sorry. It's zero. Well, here, the problem with that is, like, if you're going to have an influencer talk to specific points and messages about leasing versus a buying, like, it's going to look like crap. The influencer is going to sound so inauthentic. Yeah. The connection, which is the secret sauce of influencer marketing, the connection between the influencer and his audience or her audience is going to be completely broken.
Totally bastardized.
Because it's insincere. Yeah. Like, if you're not going to be authentic and sincere, then it's not going to work, full stop. So if you're not willing to go all the way on influencer marketing, you're going to test out influencer marketing. You're going to be like, oh yeah, we've tried influencer marketing and it didn't work. Yes, because you fundamentally did it wrong. And that's what's happening here. This automotive agency is going to, in 6 months, reject some influencer firm that's coming to them with a proposal to do it right and say, we've tried influencer marketing and it didn't work. Yeah. Because they're not willing to let go. They're just not willing to let go. And this is only one of the reasons this is a terrible campaign. So we should probably keep going with other reasons why it's awful.
I want to get to the point of, like, because we're being hard on this particular campaign, and this poor person who had to send this to us and all that. We're sorry. We're not. It's not you, it's us.
Oh, it's partly you.
It's partly you.
It's partly you.
But I think the bigger issue here is it speaks to a much deeper and more systemic problem with the way that not just the automotives, and we beat up on them plenty, but not just the automotives, but several other brands are approaching this space, which is, in a word, it's fear.
It is fear. Fear of losing dollars is one big thing. So yeah, here's the story. So I used to be a management consultant, and I worked on the strategy team, which was about less than 5% of the revenue for at a particular client. But the most important, the most impactful for the client, but from a consulting firm's perspective, it was a very, very small percentage of the revenue relative to some outsourcing revenue that's being done. And so there's a tremendous amount of fear of proposing anything that was going to be strategically important and risky, because that's going to put all the other dollars at risk. And here's what happens at agencies that represent big brands, whether it's automotive or otherwise. This is not something that we're picking out automotives for. Is that if you're an agency and you're responsible for tens of millions, hundreds of $millions of spend, you're afraid. Fear is going to prohibit you from trying something new and different with influencers where you don't have absolute control of everything they're going to say. And so what happens is these people are afraid now to try to do influencer marketing where they cede creative control to influencers who, by the way, are brilliant people and have a tremendous connection with their audience, and their audience responds. It's been proven time and time again. Again, influencer marketing is word of mouth advertising at scale. Yeah. But these agencies won't do it because they're afraid of losing the contract because there's huge dollars at risk. So the only way this is going to possibly work is by brands working directly with influencer marketing firms who do get it and are willing to help coach them through the process of making it right.
And there's another systemic hurdle that I think really comes into play here is you have both agencies, but also the marketing teams within the brands themselves will spend an enormous amount of money, time, energy, and effort to come up with what the brand message is.
Right.
And then when you say, hey, but we want this influencer to speak authentically about our car, our product, whatever it is, then it negates the need to ever have come up with the brand message, which then goes even deeper, is to say, why is it that your company is run in such a way that you need to have a team of marketers deciding what your brand message is? Why is that not baked into your very culture and exactly who you are? So,
Why you exist, how you go to market.
Right. The best example, of course, the easiest is somebody like an Apple, where they don't need to come up with a message that we want our folks to identify with our products in these following ways. We want them, that they're they dance to the beat of their own drummer. They're nonconformists. Well, but I'm saying all of the message that goes along with Apple. They didn't have to specifically sell that image because it was baked into the very way that the company did business, where people could identify with it because it's how they did everything.
Yeah, you don't need to try too hard to identify with particular phrases.
Exactly. In the same sense as, extreme example, but Ferrari doesn't have to try to tell people, if you drive this, then you will, you get to associate with a sleek, muscular, powerful, yet elegant racing machine.
It's intuitive.
It's intuitive, and it's all baked into it. And so this is we're like 5 steps removed from the fundamental problem of companies not knowing why they're doing what they're doing.
Right. Yep. Absolutely.
And it's not baked into the culture at all. So, anyways, sorry, we've gone a couple different directions here. Look, this is a really, really fantastic example of how not to use influencer marketing. We're throwing it up here on YouTube just because, again, we cannot clarify this enough, that this is an exceptionally powerful channel when done right. But there are so many different ways that this can be done wrong. We are taking it upon ourselves to highlight those consistently.
We are. So just to make sure we're all on the same page here in terms of some of the things that we learned. Again, influencers are not celebrities. Don't treat them like celebrities. Influencers are not puppets for your branding and messaging. If you do that, it'll be inauthentic, and your campaign will not be effective. It will fall apart. Third thing is, do not put content up on your brand's channel exclusively. It should be on the influencer's channel, where there's the most authenticity and there's the most chance of creating new brand champions. And fourth, don't try too hard. Your brand needs to intuitively stand for certain things, and if you're really paranoid about specific talking points or specific verbiage, you're not creating your brand right anyways, so there's a more systemic problem inside of your 4 walls than worrying about what an influencer will say at a very particular and precise level.
Well said. All right, thanks for tuning in today. It's good to see you. Glad we're here. So long from Detroit.
Appreciate it as always.